Hello and welcome to the Build with Baer workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to work on a puzzle and to hang out with all of you. I'm throwing the Baer Cave, the Lego, the site, the Tier 2 blue emote into chat. If you are currently a subscriber, reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi or use other people's emotes. Or if you feel like being a lurker, well, just go ahead and lurk. Aristophan is here. Ghost Valve is here. Welcome to both of you. Happy to have you here on this fine Thursday evening, the night before I turn 43. That's right, my birthday is tomorrow. Hello, Lashbrook. Tomorrow, and then, right off the bat, gonna mention it a couple times. Gonna say it right now. Hey, look at this. Pat Baer's birthday subathon, June 23rd, which is tomorrow, 4 p.m. till 8 p.m. Eastern. Can we break my subscriber record? Question mark. We're gonna try. We're already at 54 subs at right now. So if that holds, we will start tomorrow's stream with Placid Plastic Duck Simulator. And I'll have a multiplayer session going and people can join. It's like a couple dollars on Steam. It's not, I wouldn't even call it an idle game. It's just looking at rubber ducks in a pool. And every so often another duck shows up. And it's kind of silly. So you could join me for that. And then we'll watch some wrestling. We're going to work on, we're going to build me in WWE 2K23. And then, of course, if we hit 86 subscribers, which is the most I've ever had, and twice my age as of tomorrow, then I will drink Mountain Dew and milk. So that's what the deal is. Tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern, be there. Lord Crash says, hey, Pat, it'll be under 80 degrees for at least the next few days here. Hell yeah. Lovely to hear that, Lord Crashington. Tony the Swordsman is here. Welcome, Tony. And Lord Crashington follows up with, I don't think Duck Sim has any controls besides switching camera spots. So, yeah. So, like, people classify it as an idle game, right? It's not an idle game. It is just, there is a pool. There are a couple different stages, but the multiplayer stage is just the first stage. There's a pool, and you start as a duck. And then every so often, more ducks come in. And you can click on that duck, and then you can click and it will make a noise. And then there's like a couple ducks that are special, but most of them are just a quack. And then you can move the camera around to follow ducks around as they maneuver around the pool to another pool, to the tube that will take them back to the first pool. You can move to different lounge chairs to kind of get a bird's eye view. There's a radio, and you can hear weird music play. And you name the ducks as they come in. I have not unlocked all the ducks. I have one expansion. I don't have all the expansions because the level expansions, in my opinion, aren't worth it yet until they unlock multiplayer for more than just one stage. That's just my opinion. But yeah, that's our little thing. I'll have the room code in there, and people will be able to join my multiplayer game. And I'll have it running probably during the day before the stream starts, so if people want to get in early. Idle games are games that reward you with your progress while you're not playing. I get why they'd use that tag, but it's like when people use clicker for more adventure-style games. Yes, you do click in an adventure game, but that's not a clicker. This is idle with a capital I. It's not an idle game. It is an idle thing. It is it's not really a game. It is more akin to a screensaver, a interactive screensaver, a 3D screensaver. That's a bit more what that is. Do the ducks dance? No, they don't. Idle, not idle. They do sound the same though, Aristophan. What's happening tonight? We're going to talk about the Nintendo Direct. I'm going to finally tell you what I've been checking out as far as the demos for Steam Next Fest are. We will chat about Forbidden Door, AEW's most forbidden of all pay-per-views that's happening this Sunday. It's not really... The Forbidden Door, at this point, is just like, yeah, you got people from New Japan wrestling on an AEW show. Okay. The real Forbidden Door would have been if you had managed to get Jeff Hardy approved for traveling into Canada. You didn't do that, though. He won't be there. So, that Forbidden Door is still closed. But the Forbidden Door of New Japan wrestlers is like, all right, sure. Like, there aren't New Japan wrestlers on your roster already. I did see a PC duck that has an NVIDIA card in it with RGB lighting and clear parts in it. Yes, There's like a fun case duck. There are a bunch of fun ducks. There's a duck that's like an old timey like gonna go take a nap duck or go sleep at night and has a candlestick that will light the balloon on fire, which is not good. It'll light a duck on fire because it's got a fucking burnt candle. There's a couple ones that are there's a propeller hat duck, and that one just disappears because the propeller hat just takes it away off into the ether. So that's fun. We're not going to talk about that game anymore because I'm playing it tomorrow. I'm going to play it tomorrow. I'm not going to play it tonight. I'm model kit building, or puzzle assembling, I should say. So Steam Decks Fest, Nintendo Direct, Forbidden Door, anime in the second hour, and then probably some catch up. We'll do some catch up, not ketchup, in a moment. Oh, I dropped down to 53 subscribers. We're losing it soon. We won't be able to even play Duck Simulator at the start of the stream tomorrow. Well, who knows? Anything could happen. I'm going to retweet my tweet, see if we can get a few more friends to join us. I did not do a lot of talking today, so I might have a little bit of trouble enunciating. I might not be properly enunciating tonight. We'll go to the overhead as I talk about this 3D puzzle, which we began on Monday's stream. Before I get into that, the lighting. I have changed my overhead lighting. It's better than it was. It's still not good. The major issue with the lighting is I need to be at a place where it illuminates this, and now I'm like trying to brighten this green up instead of just the off-white below it. It's better than it was. It's certainly better than nothing. Because I can just do this and show you. Like, you can even tell. Oh, yes, Pat, you do have a light there. Like, it's pretty dramatically different with the lighting. It's still not as bright as I would like. The problem is, I need to make it so there's not, like, a million shadows all over the thing. And also, it can't be in the way of my webcam. Because, like, my previous solution, or 2 solutions ago, it was like over here, and it would get like where my hand is. It would be really, really bright and weird, and that was bad, and I didn't want that. It was like bleed. But I do need it to be over this area where it's bright. Doesn't mess up this camera. Hi. It doesn't mess up this camera. Hi. Need a 2-time diffuse lights. Yeah, I mean like Super Raven. Hello. What I think genuinely need is I need to have my computer set up or a place where there's not a wall directly on the other side of this webcam, because I would really love to have lights pointed away from me and then have umbrellas bounce the light back, because that would be incredible coverage. That's the lighting setup I used to have in New York, because where I had set up my computer, I had room for lights behind it, and so my workspace was lovely. It also lit me, and I only needed 2 lights instead of the 3 lights that I have, some of which are for me, some of which are for my overhead. It's a bummer, because I need to like light this area, but also it's not what I want right now. My overhead camera is better than it used to be. I have a similar situation against a wall. I'll send a pic tomorrow before Jeff's. I appreciate that. Before Jeff's show. Oh yeah, I appreciate that. But yeah, what I need is I need an overhead light that I can put like in this ether space, like here, but like above it, and to have that not reflect into anything, and just light this area up here. I have been thinking about perhaps a lighting bar. I could get a lighting bar that I could put basically where my keyboard is currently. You can't see it, but just know I got a keyboard off screen, like right around here. I could do that, but I think that might cause too many shadows. I got to play around with this more. I'm also somewhat minorly, just a little bit, killing a little time because I have to put a bunch of small stickers on this. So this is by a company named Baerly. It would need to wrap around you a bit. Totally, yes, it definitely would. You're right. This is by a company called Beverly. This is the RX-782 Crystal Puzzle. Crystal Puzzle. It's not, right now, there's not the locking thing put in place here, so I have to be very careful because I don't want these to fall apart because then I got to rebuild it. That's already happened once. But yes, this is the RX-782 Crystal Puzzle. We've built this. We started this on Monday's stream, and we're stacking together. We're getting into the face, and we are running into stickers. This is going to be part of the head that is going to lock in over here. And when that locks in, you're going to see these side vents, or the vents here. And so we're going to put a bunch of stickers in there. I have made the decision that I'm going to do all my stickers now as we assemble, so that when I move on to do the 3 stickers that I have to put on the face, I'm going to do the face stickers here, the chin, the nose, and the under eye sticker. I'm going to do that before I then lock this piece here in place. We are using the guide of hey, all right, so the next pieces we got to do are 39 and 40, which is these two. 41 is this piece. Now, how they go in, it's pretty easy at this point, but previously it wasn't as easy to kind of figure it out. So it's not as straightforward as other model kits, other builds, certainly. But we didn't go in completely and totally blind because I felt like I made the executive decision that was nonsense and that I would be here all day if we were treating this like a jigsaw puzzle, because it's a 3D puzzle. So, things are going to be awkward. I don't need these to be perfect, these vents. I do want it to look good, but I don't feel like it has to be perfect. These stickers feel like they're a little closer to decals. They feel like I could remove them and put them back, but I don't want to mess it up. I'm not really worried about these stickers. The stickers I'm actually worried about are these here. You can see this for the fin and this for the chin. I'm a little worried about those stickers because they involve bending things around, and I'm not always the best with that. The sticker is just stuck. That sticker was just on my X-Acto blade too much. All right. All right, we'll go like that. Yeah, it's looking all right. Okay, we'll get into some quick news before we dive into the Nintendo Direct, because I want to talk about the Nintendo Direct from this week. The kind of not a lot of notice Nintendo Direct. But first, let's just say there was some news dropped here. This was not an official announcement by the ESA or anything, but it is fairly certain, according to the LA City Tourism Board of Commissioners. The ESA has canceled its applications for a live space for 2024 and 2025 for E3. So if E3 does happen in 2024 and 2025, it will not be in the LA Convention Center. That is not to say that the ESA could not do a digital E3, or they could be just doing some kind of, not in LA. E3 hasn't always been in LA. It's mostly been in LA, and it wouldn't probably make sense to do it somewhere else. There exists the possibility they wouldn't. They'll put it in the crypto.com arena. Yeah. But this is most likely a strong indication that that E3 as we know it is E3 as they wanted it to be is, what didn't happen this year. There was some talk that if they have a full year, they could figure it out. But that does not seem to be the case. Yeah, I mean, I just, LA probably makes the most sense of any location. West Coast is certainly where they would do it. The Staples Center is the Staples Center. I understand. I get you. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, look, again, this was not an official announcement by anyone. This is just people looking at the LA City Tourism Board of Commissioners calendar in the future, and they noted that E3 is not happening now in 24 or 25. Yeah. It would most likely still be West Coast, 'cause that just makes the most sense for an international crowd that's coming through. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. I want to hear from more people than the ones I've heard from about what they thought of the Summer Game Fest. You know, that not the part we saw. We saw Key 3. Excuse me. We saw Key 3. But, you know, Jeff and the Giant Bomb folks, the Remap, Patrick of Remap, you know, GameSpot, all those places, they saw like an actual space where people were demoing. And I want to hear, you know, I want to like listen in to a few more podcasts that happen after the fact to hear what other people thought of that event. And I want to kind of hear what they thought of that, because it is in some ways the same, but in other ways it sounded like different. I think San Jose might be vile for them. I mean, Raven, I don't think it's about the location. I think it's about the very idea of having it. Also, I bet Jeff Keighley has booked the YouTube theater again for next year and has probably booked a space for next summer anyway. And the ESA, if they were going to do an event in June, would now have to work around Jeff Keighley's schedule. I just don't think they're going to do it again, because they realized that people were like, no, thank you, when they tried to do it this year. In their revamp, like their pivot to making it more like Gamescom, where there were public days and private days, is about 5 years too late of a pivot. So I just don't think they would do it again. It's not about like, oh, we're not going to do it in LA so we can save money. It's about, is this a thing that enough people want to justify it existing? They probably don't want to pay for a place until they're sure they can do it. Yeah, well, the problem is, Lord Crashington, that's a double-edged sword, because you can't get the place you want, you know, less than a year or 2 years in advance, if it's a convention center of that size and scope, unless you don't care about what weekend you have, and you can just do whatever. So I don't know, but yeah, I just don't think that it's going to exist in the way that it has in the past. I just think that I think the hybrid model made sense to do, but again, was just a little bit too late, like, of an idea. That was a pivot they should have done a very long time ago, and it just wasn't coming together. Because also now, like, there's an alternative. There is the Summer Game Fest. There is just doing your own thing, which everybody was kind of, not everybody, but a lot of people were kind of doing anyway. These stickers are not cooperating in a way that I would not describe these stickers as cooperative. I gotta put them like very lightly on my X-Acto blade here, because this is a weird thing to say, they're too sticky. They're just like sticking to the knife instead of adhering to the plastic, which is odd, but we'll make it work. This is my first time doing a Beverly 3D puzzle. They make other things. I don't know if I would do one again, but maybe. I might give this another shot. Ooh, I just got the literal paper was stuck to my blade here. That's fun. Let's see. What can real quick, I will just say very quickly, hello. On Tuesday, I streamed Persona 4 Golden with mods. That is on my VOD channel and available here on my Twitch VODs if you did not see that. That was a very fun stream. That might be the last time I do that for a while, unless there are some mods that are very cool, because I finally showed off what I wanted to show off, which was the fishing mod. We finally got to the point in the game where I could get a fishing rod. We helped out the Mysterious Fox quite a bit. We're almost done helping out the Mysterious Fox. And then, of course, there was the mod that was very silly that I really enjoyed showing off, where periods at the end of sentences were replaced with the cat face emoji, which was very silly and fun, so that when people were ... instead it said cat, cat, cat. And that was very goofy in a way that I really appreciated. Now you have to stream the Bummer Dungeon. No, we're not. Like, I'll tell you this, friends. If I pick up that game again, we will not go to Rescue Nanako on stream. I would never, ever subjugate you. That's the same reason why we didn't stream kanjis. Like, well, we did, but we busted through all the lines of like kanji's innuendos. From this point on, almost all of the dungeons coming up are bummers. There's the Nanako, Save Nanako dungeon. There's the Naoto, are you a boy or are you a girl? There's only one right answer for some reason, dungeon. The RPG dungeon for the dude that sucks, it is fine. That dungeon's fine. But there's a lot of nonsense in that game of dungeons I don't enjoy. We probably wouldn't run through those unless we were running through the bonus versions of them to fight the additional boss. All right, so this has been completed. We did all of the stickers we need to do for this. I'm going to move one sticker a little bit here. The Gamer TM dungeon. Yes, the Gamer dungeon is the least... It's not a problem because the sub-boss for that one is actually kind of fun, the big robot. But yeah, most of the other... There's a lot of highly problematic dungeons in that game. All right, so we've got to do the under eyes, the red under eyes, the nose, and then the, like, chin. We're going to start with the chin. Because it's going to involve a lot of folds. All right, so while I am going to get this out, let me get up here. Let's talk about... we've got some gaming. Let's talk about some gaming. Let's talk about the Nintendo Direct. Obviously, Wonder, Super Mario Bros. Wonder is probably the biggest announcement. The new 2D Mario, lots of heart. You could turn into an elephant. It just seems fun and vibrant, and like very like I don't know. There's something about this Mario that I really enjoy the look of. I am excited to see more of this because it just looks like a fucking fun video game. Yes, it's just a 2D Mario game with a lot of personality. The Wonder Flowers, yeah. Also, it does look like all the mushrooms that Mario has been taking for so many years is finally catching up to my dude. And you know, I hope he ends up with a good trip, but looks like it might be a bad trip. All right, so okay, so we fold this. We fold that like that. Then this sticker is see-through because it's the crystal puzzle. So even though it is red, it is also translucent, I should say, which is a neat trick. All right, this is not going to be good, but it'll do. Yeah, this is not great, but it's okay that it's not great. Because I don't care. Even if the personality is Animorph-style transformations, I think that's fine. I hate stickers, decals, shaky hands. I totally understand. I got into it more as I started to stream. The stickers like this that involve folding, I'm not a big fan of. I've never been a big fan of it. Applying stickers, I think I've gotten way better at it. I'm kind of okay with them existing. This is necessary because this is just completely clear otherwise, and you want to have some definition. So I'm fine with that. But I hear you. I get your point. Shaky hands are tough, you know. And then you're like, oh, well, I'll use a blade. Oh, I have just pushed a little bit of a blade into my finger. Oh, fun. I haven't, but you know what I'm saying. I haven't in this instance, but I have in the past. All right, so now we have that, and that gives some lovely definition for our face. And then we've got to do this one here, which is going to not have to bend as much, but it'll have to bend some. And this is just the bags under this robot's eyes. We're going to try to line up the center with the center. And it won't be perfect because it's supposed to go over it so that the next piece that goes on top of it will cover some of it and it'll actually be below it. And I think that looks pretty good. All right, so Super Mario RPG Remake announced for 2023. I like the original. That's awesome. I love that they're going to do it again. That's coming out in November, which is kind of a short little like, oh hey, there's going to be a new game in November, which is neat. I don't dislike that at all. I have never played the Mario RPG. I'm very excited. Yeah, I think this is like that's cool. And I think that like I've seen some like up-reses, like people have worked on making that game look better, and it didn't look that just like the art was good, but it definitely kind of needed that refresh. So a proper refresh by Nintendo. So I'm excited for that. The remake, going full remake. All right. We have now done more of this head. And then, yep, that's locked in there. And then if I push that down, that's locked there. Whoops. Got to be careful when you're putting pressure on it that I'm putting even pressure so that it doesn't just slide around, ruining my hard work, which just happened here. So I got to do this. And I'll do that. Damn it. There we go. Okay. All right. We're done with stickers for a moment because we got to build more of the head up. And then we have to do the eye sticker and then the forehead sticker. And then we're done with stickers. Detective Pikachu 2 is coming. I want to watch the Japanese trailer for this because if I remember correctly, the Japanese voice actor of Detective Pikachu is a voice actor that does a lot or has done a lot of hard-boiled detectives, but also like Yakuza bosses, and it had like just a deep, lovely voice that I think like this voice actor was fine. The English voice actor here was doing a fine enough job, but I think I want a little more gravitas. All right, so it's not this piece, not this piece. We have to figure out which piece we're looking at here. It might be this piece. It might be this piece. We're going to look through. Is it this one? Might be that one. It is this one because it has the... No, it's not that one. Oh, it was that one. All right. It was that one. Yeah, that fit in. Perfect. Okay. So the next piece is this one? Yes. And now I am just going to figure out how this fits in. I think it fits in like this. Nope. Fit in like this. Yes. Great. But yeah, I like Detective Pikachu as a concept. That first game sold really well. The movie did well. Tim Goodman is still a terrible, great name for a main character that I enjoy. That is still a like first draft ass name, but they're sticking with Tim Goodman, so sure. The Ongoing Adventures. Metal Gear Solid Volume 1 is coming to Switch. There was some confusion if the N version, which is the NES versions, but in the other collections they'll call it that, if those were only going to be on Nintendo. It sounds like those are coming to everything, which is great. I don't have the. I'm not your biggest Metal Gear guy. But the collection includes Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty, Solid 3, Snake Eater, Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2, Solid Snake, and Snake's Revenge, which, as Jeff Gerstmann pointed out, with Kojima not there, you can just do that because he's not there to be mad about it. So you can just do that if you want. They're putting a lot in that collection. This is also Volume 1, remember? But again, I am not the biggest Metal Gear person. Revengeance is my favorite Metal Gear, which is, to many people, is not a Metal Gear game or a true Metal Gear game, but it is my favorite Metal Gear. It's just a game I really like, and sorry that I really like it. All right, let's see. These eyes go like that. Okay, so the eyes go like that. So I might actually want to do the eye sticker after we're done assembly here. Let's see. Well, can I do this? I think I can do this like this. We're going to try. We're going to put the eyes on here and hopefully do it right. The 2 motion comics are in there too. Well, that's fun. It's kind of funny that this is the place where we learned the most info about it. Well, I think that the other places probably weren't going to mention the N version, which is where they show up a lot of places. Like, I think a lot of places weren't going to say Nintendo. They just weren't going to say the name. So it makes sense that here is where we're going to hear that name. The NES. I don't know. I think that makes sense to me. A screenplay book containing in-game text of each title and a master book detailing the stories and characters. The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, Zelda and Ganondorf are going to get amiibos. Hey, remember Tears of the Kingdom, the huge selling game? Amiibos, they're getting some amiibos. You've only played Sons of Liberty, which was clearly a mistake for first experience. Yeah, probably. So I don't have a Switch, right? I'm talking about these Nintendo games, but I can talk to you about WarioWare and my deep love for all WarioWare games. WarioWare Move It is coming to Switch in November. And it's going to be motion control bullshit with a Joy-Con. But also, I liked the WarioWare where you moved. I liked the one where you moved around with your Wiimote. I know some people didn't like that one. I'm not one of those people. I really liked that, WarioWare game, whose name escapes me. My apologies. But I did like that WarioWare game. I know some people didn't fucking like that WarioWare game. That ain't me. Don't put that shit on me. I thought that was fun as hell. All right, so this piece needs to go here. No. This is huge. Where's this fucking piece need to go? That's not right. Where's this piece need to go? This piece is huge. What the fuck? We did the eyes. Where's this fucking piece gotta go? Why is this piece so big? What the fuck is... Twin Snakes version doesn't appear to be the version for the collection. Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised. I think they're just going old. You can put Twin Snakes in Volume 2. All right, I have a guide here, a video guide, because I don't understand where this piece is supposed to go here. All right, so the problem with this is this person didn't put any of the stickers up. Okay, so this is... Oh, all right. This is setting up for the V-fin, so it's got to go like this. Oh, no wonder why I couldn't figure that out, because it's fucking weird. Duh, it's part of the... It's the top of the head here. All right, yeah, okay, that's why I couldn't figure this out. I have a video of someone putting this together. Never mind. MSG1 is just the PS1 version, since it's the one people care about. Yeah. They're just using the version of 2. Look, we talked too much about a game series that I don't know enough about and I don't want to piss off people by not knowing more about it. So we're just going to kind of leave that as is. All right. So now we need to put this piece on. And this piece goes on like that. Great. Now we have our last sticker. Our last and possibly most annoying sticker is for our fin here, which is going to go like that, our crown. And that is going to go on and fold. So like this is going to go here and then it'll fold over. Because that piece needs to be red. Actually, there are 2 more stickers, but these stickers are very easy. These are just going to go on this piece here. Those are going to be easy to apply. Those are just the front and back cameras. I'm not worried about that. This is going to be the most annoying sticker of the whole bunch. I think more annoying than the chin sticker. So let's just get this up and then we'll look at it once it's up. Okay. Pikmin 4 seems fun. Like I loved the first Pikmin game. I liked the second Pikmin game. I didn't play the third Pikmin game. I still am thrilled that that is a franchise. Pikmin feels like a game that, like the first Pikmin feels like something that Nintendo would never talk about again. You know what I mean? Like they would have made Pikmin and then like Miyamoto would be doing like a rare interview with Chris Kohler, back when Chris wrote, for websites and such, and Chris would be like, "So what's up? What about Pikmin?" And he would go, "Oh yeah, Pikmin. There were people on the team that were really rooting for Pikmin, like that kind of thing." But no, they're gonna make a 4th one in 2023, and then also the HD versions of 1 and 2 are coming to the eShop. They're already there, I should say. They're already there. And you can get them in a bundle. And then if you want the physical version, that's the thing you have to wait till September, which is interesting. My armchair analysis on that is they did want those day and date. They weren't going to get them. They decided they'd rather have them come out now than wait. Just get the, a thing that you can get on the eShop today was more important to them than having it all at once. That's my analysis. It's a weird series that Miyamoto talks about the next game years before it's announced. Yes, Pikmin is a game that like exists if like Miyamoto is gardening. You might hypothesize, I should say, not argue, you might hypothesize that game exists because Miyamoto wills, like any Pikmin sequel exists because Miyamoto starts talking about it, and then they have to make it happen. Like, they're waiting with bated breath to see if he was going to mention, and then they have to start actually working on another goddamn game. All right, we're about to do the weirdest part of this build. We are going to be putting this piece in here, and then we're going to use the key to turn it. So this is going to basically, this should theoretically, anyway, go all the way down. And then when I turn it, it will lock in place. And then this will actually be stable. Other than the piece that goes on the top, might fall out. But theoretically, if I did this correctly, I can lock this in place with the key. And then I can move this thing around, and it's not going to, these pieces aren't going to fall. And now I don't want to drop it. I'm not bonkers, but I can hold this now. It does go. This piece went all the way to the bottom. You can maybe see it there. And yeah, I can now kind of look at this thing and move it around a little bit. There's a little bit of wiggle with the head, which is nice. We still have the final piece to put on there, but we're almost done. I didn't know how long this would take, so I said, "Oh, we're just finishing," and I didn't talk about the next thing we're going to do, which is a Lego set that was bought for my birthday. So we are going to get into some Lego, which is great because I don't have to get into a model kit tonight. But we're not done yet. We're close to being done. But I just didn't know how long it would take to do this. We still have 2 more stickers. We can now put in the beam sabers here because that's easy. And yeah, having that lock in place really makes me feel better. This seems like a nice desktop piece. Yeah, Lord Crashing. I do think this is not a thing for the wall here, my little setup, because I think it would reflect the light weird. But this, I think, would be nice on my desk. Not for y'all to see, just for your friend Pat to admire. So let's get these last stickers on. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet have some expansions. Wiggler. It's fucking Wiggler, y'all. Wiggler's doing some stuff in Mario Kart 8. There is a Luigi's Mansion 2, aka Dark Moon, is getting remastered. And that's really fun. They teased a Princess Peach game, and by teased I mean they announced that it exists in some form at some point. But that's it. That was basically it. It was just like, hey, we're working on Princess Peach game. Cool, peace out. No, we got more stuff, but not about that though. Sorry. If that's what you're here for, sorry. Oh no. So this sticker, I didn't peel off the backing properly. So I gotta try to peel this backing off. That's fun. Yes, indeed. Couldn't even give Peach game a name. No. Someday they will. We'll know it. Okay, so this sticker didn't come off. So I'm going to hold it here with my tweezers, and I'm going to try to peel some of it off with my blade, and then I'll try to peel the rest off. But right now, the backing is stuck to the sticker, and I need that to not happen. There we go. All right, I got it. Looks like I got some of it off. Great. I got most of that backing off, and now I should be able to get the rest of that backing off. This is a rare instance of that happening. Usually, the stickers I work with, just come right off, and you don't run into that problem. But in this case, the stickers need a little bit of work, a little refinement. Beverly. Vampire Survivors with couch co-op coming in August. That's cool. I like Vampire Survivors. It's not, I'm not big on ass games. But that's a fun one, and I enjoy my time with it. I love the idea of couch co-op on a Switch. That's fun. 4-player. That's too many players. Dragon Quest Monsters seemed cute, but not something I would ever play. I probably know like a couple streamers that will be checking it out, and I'll probably check out their streams. But that didn't really interest me. Sonic Superstars. I almost said Supersonic. Sonic Superstars is... I don't want to fucking dump on fans of Sonic anymore. I do that enough. That doesn't look interesting to me, and I'm sorry. It just doesn't. I hope it's a great game. Hope people really like it. Batman Arkham Trilogy is going to run like ass on every Switch possible. There's just no way there's just no fucking way that Batman Arkham Trilogy, that any of those Batman games are going to run good on a Switch. Just not going to happen. And there's DLC with that. Great. Star Ocean, the Second Story R is a very good name for a Star Ocean game. That is the 1998 PlayStation game. This is also coming to PS5 and PS4 and PC on Steam. The 2D pixel characters in the 3D environment, I really like. That is apparently divisive. Me saying that I thought that was fun, apparently some people think that sucks. I'm not one of those people. I thought it looked neat. Well, yeah, some people not happy. Persona 5 Tactica, looks interesting. Those aren't my style of Persona games. Um, Jeff Gerson brought this up. I agree with him. I've seen this in a couple other places as well. What the fuck does Saturday morning cartoons mean? You know what I mean? Like, why are you using that? Just say 80s or just say 90s Saturday morning cartoon. You have to say 90s because that's the art style Myth Force is kind of going for, I think. But like, what are we doing here? It looked neat, but like, come on. Are there even... No, there aren't, Lord Crashington. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't mean anything. There aren't Saturday morning cartoons. There are weekend evening cartoons. You know, but there aren't. It's like the vibe they're going for isn't like 2020, 15 Saturday morning cartoon. They're going for like 90s. It's just weird. There's a demo for Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope, The Last Spark Hunter. That's just more TLC. The demo for the game is out there. Before we start getting into some Lego knolling, this is done. I really like this. I don't know if I would want to do another Beverly. No, Lashbrook. I am not forgetting that the Batman games were 360 games. I'm not forgetting that at all. They weren't optimized well. That's my point. Not that they're like highfalutin new high-tech games. I'm saying they're not going to run well on a Switch because there's no way they're going to be optimized well to run on a Switch because they weren't like designed for... They have had terrible ports. There's just... It's a nightmare. I just think it's going to be a rough time. But anyway, this is looking really good. I'm excited. I was done with this. I don't know if I would do another one of these, but I had a great time working on this one, I should say. So, fuck yeah. We'll, I don't know. If I come across another one of these, put on my wish list, maybe I'll do that. I enjoyed putting this together. This was not as complicated as I thought it would be, which is great. So we've now done the Millennium Puzzle. We've done this. And then we abandoned a jigsaw puzzle that wasn't good and was driving me crazy. One of the worst weeks of my streaming career, which will be 6 years next month. All right, I'm going to take a photo of this thing. Now that I can do this, I'm going to take an overhead photo of it. I was thinking the other day about how teens these days probably don't know what Saturday afternoon movies are. Yeah, no. If they have TV, they have cable TV. They don't have just local channels the local channel that I watch cartoons on doesn't have sports today. So instead, or it rained, so the baseball game is off. So instead, Kramer versus Kramer is running on the local Fox affiliate. So I guess my dad and I are going to watch Kramer versus Kramer because the baseball game got canceled. It rained out. Yeah, I don't think people know about the Saturday afternoon movies. They don't know about UPN and WB or CW with their syndication block of shows that are only syndicated and are not reruns of a show that ran on a network. They're not watching Cleopatra 20 whatever or Hercules or the Jack of all the short-lived Bruce Campbell show, Jack of all trades. They don't know nothing about those things. How you could only saw the second half of some movies and never knew how it started. Yep, because you came back from your afternoon playing outside. You came in and the movie's playing, and the movie's not going to play after that. So it's not on a loop. You're just going to catch it. You're going to catch some amount of Shawshank Redemption, but never the start of Shawshank Redemption. You'll never know like how he quote unquote got caught for the crime he did not commit. But then you just be like, okay, I guess I'm just gonna see this here. Sorry, Andy, I don't know how this happened. All right, I gotta take a photo of this, and then we're gonna move on. Um, Just Dance 2024. I don't know. You know what? Fuck it. Yes, please keep making Just Dance games. I think that is fine that Just Dance games keep happening. They keep making Just Dance games. I don't mind that at all. Go with God. Enjoy making Just Dance all the time. Palia didn't look that great to me. The people, what brought you Sonic Mania, the good Sonic game? They didn't get to keep making good Sonic games, apparently. Apparently, Sega was like, no, bad Sonic games again. So they're making Penny's Big Breakaway, which is a 3D platformer that looked pretty fucking fun. I was pretty into it. We're going to get a nice little side shot here of this. Hell yeah. Yeah, that looked pretty fun. All right, so this is done. Very happy to say that we have put that to bed. We're now going to work on the Lego 3-in-1 Exotic Parrot, which is a fine-looking kit here. Again, we've got our poisonous frog or toad. I don't know. It's frog or a toad. We got our bird, and we've got our underwater fishy friend, of course, underwater, because if it was above water, that fish would not be having a good time. And then we got to switch to Parrot. Get rid of the puzzle here. We're gonna start with the Parrot. We're gonna start with the biggest one, the hardest one to do. Looks like the frog is probably the easiest. We'll start with that. And let's see here. Can we widen this up a bit? And now, the most fun part of any Lego build, knolling every single fucking piece of this color-wise, just separating them to a best of our ability by color. We got a lot of different colors here that we're going to be doing. I'm going to loosely organize these, put them where I need them to be, kind of group them together, and then we'll dig in. We will be using a spudger to apply decals if there are any. There shouldn't be any because a 3-in-1 usually does not have decals or decals. But we will be using our brick separator. Incredibly important to have this old brick separator for separating bricks. So yeah, for right now we're just going to dump some bags here and then just start grouping by color. Fae Farm is a farm simulator with a lot of magic in it. It seemed fine. Silent Hope did not do anything for me. Headbangers Rhythm Royale is a rhythm-based battle royale game, which seems like it shouldn't work, and maybe it will or it won't. I don't know. It's a 30-player game at most. It comes out on Halloween. Not Christmas, on Halloween. It says 20 musical mini games, which those games. Hopefully, those games aren't that many. If there's only 20 of them at launch. Also, the birds look like dicks. And I have to imagine that's on purpose. I'll say this, friends. If they didn't mean for the birds to look like penises, or a crude drawing of penis, a circle shape at the bottom and then you go up with like a cylindrical shape. If that wasn't what they meant to do, they fucked up. They either did a great job making these birds look like penises or a terrible job avoiding that. So we'll have to see. But I assume it was on purpose. Because I was watching with some people, and a lot of people were just like, did they know? I've seen cartoon pigeons look like a dick before. Yeah. But people were like, did they must have known. It's like, yeah, they fucking must have. I can't imagine they didn't know that. It's possible. It's fucking definitely, like, plausible, I guess, that, like, some people really screwed up so badly they didn't recognize that, like, oh shit, they look like dicks. People were saying on the internet that these things look like dicks. We really fucked up. That's not what we wanted at all. Oh no, is it too late? It's like, nah, then they fucking know. And if they don't know, well, congratulations. More people are talking about your game. Gloomhaven. They're doing a console version of Gloomhaven. That seemed pretty good. Manic Mechanics is a 4-player co-op game all about repairing vehicles as fast as possible. I don't remember this at all. I don't remember this trailer. Manic Mechanics is a good name. The idea of taking, like, Cook Serve Delicious but applying it to doing repair work on vehicles is a really fun idea. Oh, it's cars, trucks, choppers, tractors, mini subs, UFOs, and more. It's coming out in July. That's a really fun premise of taking that, like frantic pace, run a restaurant style game and applying it to being a mechanic. I think that's a really clever idea, like a really fun take on the genre. So yeah, I don't know. I don't, I can't tell you about quality of it, but, and again, I don't remember the trailer, which is bad. Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 Turbocharged. Sure, that's coming. 130 vehicles. Okay. It's like, yeah, all right. We'll take a pause for the calls in a moment or two. I'll talk about ways you can support the channel, all of that. Reminder, I don't have a stream on Saturday because I'm doing my bonus stream tomorrow, which means we can talk about what happened at Forbidden Door on Monday. But I'll just quickly run through my predictions on Forbidden Door, the pay-per-view that's happening this Sunday. I will not mention the match that is being booked, that was booked on Rampage, because I don't want to give Rampage spoilers, but there is a match that was booked on that show, which is, of course, taped on Wednesday nights, but hasn't aired until Friday, so I don't want to spoil it. But there was a match that is fairly inconsequential, but might be fun. That might be a fun match. But it's fine that we're not going to talk about it here. Pre-show match: Athena versus Billy Starks for the first round of the Women's Owen Hart Cup tournament. I think Athena is a lock to win that one, and she should go kind of far in it. I don't know if she's going to go to the finals, but I think she should at least win one match. Billy Starks doesn't lose much. She could win and then say, oh, she's all elite, but they could also say she's all elite with her losing. She has now graduated from high school and could technically be signed without it being a problem. And I think she will be signed. I don't know if it's going to be announced yet. I'm sure she had a, handshake deal put in place as soon as she was out of high school. Just Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay. I don't know, man. I think Kenny... I think there will be shenanigans in this match, but I still don't know. I think this is the one that is the big question mark to me about, do they take off that belt that Kenny doesn't really defend too much because Will certainly defend it? Do they continue this story longer by having, Kenny win? There's so much other stuff going on with him in AEW. Maybe there'll be, again, shenanigans. I don't quite know. I don't really know where that's going to go. I think Okada wins because Bryan Danielson does not mind losing big matches. Bryan Danielson seems to really enjoy losing big big time matches. He seems to revel in losing those. So I think if he is fine with losing it, Okada beating Bryan Danielson feels like a very big deal for Okada. So my belief is that is how that'll go down. I mean, Sonata's going to beat Jungle Boy. Now, Hook could turn on Jungle Boy, or Jungle Boy could turn heel and be mad at Hook for not cheating to help him win or something. There might be that kind of twist. But if you're asking me, like, do you think that Jungle Boy Jack Perry is going to beat Sonata? I don't fucking believe that for a fucking second. No way. Jungle Boy Jack Perry is not winning the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. Just not fucking likely. Not a feasible thing. MJF versus Tanahashi. MJF wins. Tanahashi is going to look really fucking good in that match. Tanahashi's not going to win. MJF is going to cheat to win. Most likely. Jungle Boy was an incredibly weird choice because there's not a part of me that believes he could win. Like, at all. It's like, no, I don't believe that. Blackpool Combat Club with Takeshita and Shuta Umino. That's Blackpool Combat Club. John Moxley, Wheeler Yuta, Claudio Castagnoli. This incarnation of that, because Danielson already has a singles match. Versus the Elite, Hangman Adam Page, Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, Eddie Kingston, and Tomohiro Ishii. So, one question on this one is Shooter happy with the faction that he's aligned himself with being a bunch of heels and Bellans? Is he cool with them being garbage people? If he's cool with it, sure. I don't think Shooter's cool with that. So I think that is going to lead to some conflict there. Ishii does not like anyone on the team that he is on at all, including Eddie Kingston, who he is in the G1 with, in a block with, so he could go rogue. Eddie does not like the people that he is wrestling with. Slashbrook, Shooter Umino, Shuta, I should say, aka Shooter, but Shuta Umino is on the Blackpool Combat Club side in this match. I think this really does come down to how much does Eddie Kingston care if they win or not versus Eddie Kingston getting an opportunity to beat up a guy that he does not like. I think that is the big question. Like, will he play nice enough for them to actually win that match? Suzuki Gods. Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara, and Minoru Suzuki versus Sting, Darby Allin, and to be announced. My guess is to be announced is going to be, I don't quite know. I think it'll be like the guy that tagged with them before, like last year. I forget his name. I apologize. So here's the thing, right? Storyline wise, Jericho winning, which leads to more of a program with Darby and Sting, makes a lot of sense, right? Jericho's team winning makes a lot of sense. Counterpoint, Sting is not lost in AEW. Sting's last wrestling and his one match in Pro Wrestling Noah. Sting's last loss was in 2015 against Seth Rollins when he got injured on that buckle bomb. So I don't think Sting is losing here. I think that still leads into storyline wise. Like, I think it's cleaner to have Jericho, pick up the victory. But I think for just keeping Sting's victories alive, and it'll be a feel-good match. CM Punk versus Kojima, Satoshi Kojima, men's Owen Hart Cup first round. Obviously, look, it's kind of cool. It's kind of neat that it's, that an old man who can wrestle better than CM Punk is going to wrestle CM Punk. CM Punk wins this. There's just no way he doesn't win this. There's no way he's not. CM Punk is probably fucking. CM Punk is either winning this tournament or he's putting over in the finals of the tournament Powerhouse Hobbs. It's one of those two things. So I don't think they're going to do a shock loss here. They could. I think it would be fucking cool if they did. I don't think they're going to do that shit. I don't think they're doing a shock loss here. I think it's going to be fucking CM Punk winning that thing in easy fashion. Orange Cassidy versus Zack Sabre Jr. versus Katsuyori Shibata versus Daniel Garcia. Orange Cassidy retains. You could move the belt with someone who is not Orange Cassidy getting pinned. I think Orange Cassidy loses this belt to someone, maybe Zack Sabre Jr., but I think he loses that belt at All In, not at Forbidden Door. I just don't see it. I could be wrong. I just don't see it. Toni Storm versus Willow Nightingale. Toni Storm. I mean, let's not, like... Willow is in good standing. I could see Willow taking the belt off of someone. I think they're hoping Jamie Hayter is well enough to be back for All In to go up against Toni Storm, because that's the money match. I don't think they would just take the belt out and put it on Willow. I think it's Jamie Hayter taking that belt back. It's not Willow. And then, like I said, there's a match that gets announced tomorrow that is fairly inconsequential, but I'm not going to say it out loud. It's out there. It's on the Wikipedia page. You can look at it. But because it hasn't happened yet in the world of wrestling, in kayfabe, I'm not going to call it out here. I'm not doing that shit. All right. We'll get back to Nolan here in a minute. Let me just open up this bag. Now is the part of the stream where I, Pat Baer, your friend Pat, I'm going to talk to you about ways you can support the channel. Hello, hi. First and foremost, if you're currently a subscriber, you can throw the Build with Baer, the Build with Baer workshop. You can throw the Barricade, the Lego, the site, the tier 2 blue emote in the chat. Let the people know you're a subscriber. That's the easiest way to support what I do here. Through becoming a subscriber with Cash Money or your Prime Gaming token. If you have Amazon Prime, link with your Twitch, you get that token. You can use that for anyone, but please use it for me. Subscribing is the easiest way to support what I do here. You could gift a sub to somebody in the community, like Bobby Dice Roller and Silver Streak and John have. We're currently at 54 subscribers, which is a whole lot of subscribers. Somebody renewed their sub and didn't hit the notification button because we had gone down to 53. Now we're back up to 54. So if that's you and you get that button and you want to press it so that we all know you did that, you could do that. And that would be rad. You don't have to, but you could. I got to stop knolling. I'm knolling as I'm talking, and that's bad news for your friend Pat because I'm going to get fucking distracted. So yeah, subscribing is the easiest way to support what I do here. Bits and coins, always appreciate. If you want to throw a couple bits my way, I wouldn't mind it. Sorry, let me put this water down here. There are other ways to support what I do here beyond that. This is the easiest way. Patreon is another option if you want to do that. I have a Patreon at patreon.com/PatBaer. All the links I'm going to mention here are in the chat right now. You can find them in the show description of the archive of this. But yeah, patreon.com/PatBaer. There's a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. Nick, this is subscribe with Prime. That's 3 months saying, it was me. It was you, Nick. It was you all along. Thank you so much, Nick. Appreciate that very much. Love being able to give a shout out. Thank you for using your Prime. Yes, you can do that. If you have Amazon Prime link with your Twitch, you could do that just like Nick did. Thank you so much for that. And also, folks, let's throw the Bear Cave Lego site tier 2 blue emote in the chat and say thank you to Nick. Very kind of you using your Prime. So I mentioned my Patreon. I also have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/PatBaer. Go over there, subscribe for free, become a member for just $2 a month, and you get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. So if you want to see me play a character who inherited a discount furniture store and has no idea what he's doing being the owner of a discount furniture store. I just put that video up. So you would have been able to see that on Tuesday instead of seeing it yesterday like all the other people saw it. Let's see. Those are all monthly ways to support me financially. But if you want to support me on a one-off basis, you could join or just head over to my Ko-fi or my PayPal directly or Stream Elements. Everything I make through direct donations, through Patreon, through YouTube, which includes AdSense. So watching my videos helps me out financially. Or you could support me through here on Twitch. Everything goes into an account here. I set aside. I keep track of it. All that money goes directly into buying model kits and equipment, right? So I have some stuff. I've pre-ordered a few things that are coming in July. A couple things that are coming at the end of the month. I have a backlog of stuff to build. I just recently added a knockoff, not Lego kit that should be interesting to try out of a cool car from anime. But also, sometimes people buy things that they want me to build. The Lego set that we are starting tonight is from my Amazon wish list. The puzzle that I just completed tonight was from my Amazon wish list. And if you want to buy something from my wish list and have me build in the future, it'll jump the queue. It becomes the next thing that I build. I make a dedicated video for YouTube about the thing, and you can take a look at that right now. I have some inexpensive stuff. I have some more expensive stuff. I try to add new things constantly, but I've got some Lego sets. I've got some model kits. I just put in what I think is actually for real this time. The only Iron-Blooded Orphans kits I've never built. I have one in my backlog that I haven't assembled, the 6th form Barbatos. This is the Sigrun. And I think the Sigrun is actually legitimately, like, if I own that, if I get that in the future, I will have every Iron-Blooded Orphans kit. And then I'll have to build it, obviously. But I've got some stuff from Witcher Mercury on there. A bunch of different things. Some Lego. Again, plenty of model kits. Some inexpensive kits, very expensive kits. Some gear. It's always nice to have some gear options if you, like, want to help me out, but you don't know. And you're like, I don't know, Pat, maybe you want a better capture card. So that you could hook up your laptop and you could have like games on your laptop and then also capture that. Like maybe you want that, Pat. Like better than the current capture card you're using, which is good for your webcam or your overhead camera, but not much else. I don't know. You pick that up if you wanted to. All the stuff is optional. You don't have to do any of this stuff, but you can if you want. I have a Throne wish list, which is separate from my Amazon wish list because it's nice to have alternatives because some people just don't want to use Amazon, and I fucking get it. Understand it and respect it. And then you could always go to USA Gundam Store. You get a gift card at USA Gundam Store. They send it to you in email. It's not a physical card. And then you could send me the code. You could whisper me here on Twitch. Or, while you still can, send a DM on Twitter because my DMs are open until that's not a fucking thing anymore. Because that's the real solution to bots, apparently. Not going to get into the latest of Twitter stuff. I refuse to. You can type it in the chat if you want to say the latest thing, if Elon Musk being an idiot, but I'm not getting into it because it will just fucking make me furious, and I can't. The day before my birthday, I refuse to get furious at that man. It's fun to laugh at. It's not fun when it's just a nightmare. If you want to support me for free, I got a Discord. Join my Discord. It's lovely. A good time in there. You're welcome to come hang out. Pat Baer's Anime Club. I got a new episode of Pat Baer's Anime Club up right now that you can watch. This episode is how to find like new anime in 2023. Like, yes, Nick. Twitter bad, wrestling anime good. Indeed. Sometimes it's hard to find. Like, you're thinking about, like, oh, you know, hey, I wonder if this show that I really liked, is that show available? And you don't know. You don't know if it is. You don't know if it's out there. Well, I've found some ways to kind of find that. Or if you want to know about like upcoming anime, like what's the new season, what's happening right now. Wait, how many episodes? That show has 13 episodes? That's weird. That show has 24 episodes, huh? Like, I kind of go through the steps of how I find anime in 2023. So that's that video. And then Baerly Rehearsed, again, I kind of talked about it already. That is a series where every week I write and perform an original piece of comedy. And this episode was me just playing a character who inherited a discount furniture store and should not be doing a local commercial about that. It is the person who was trying to be reasonable in a situation that is unreasonable. Is one of my favorite little tropes for writing. So I did that, or in performing. So did that character. I just said there. The character, I wrote into the script a lot of ums and uhs, which I often do without realizing it. But in this case, it was on purpose because I thought that would be better for the character. And that is everything I want to promote. We're going to get into talking about some anime because there's a bunch of anime that came out. And we got some episodes here. I thought we'd be finishing up at least one of these shows, but no, we're almost done with a couple of them. We'll be talking about this anime here. Before we get into that, I do need to drink a little water because I am parched, and we'll go back to the overhead here. We'll do a dramatic transition right now. All right. So we're still knolling here. We've got this left. We're just going to kind of organize the parts we need, put them in places we can easily find them. I'll do a better job of knolling for Monday's stream, which will be the next time that I build. Because a reminder, I am not streaming on Tuesday. Or sorry, I am streaming on Tuesday. I am not streaming on Saturday. My Saturday stream is instead going to happen tomorrow. And it's not going to be a model kit building stream. It's going to be a hangout stream. Before we get into anime talk, I do want to just remind you about Pat Baer's birthday subathon, which is tomorrow from 4 p.m. Eastern time until 8 p.m. Eastern time. It's 4 hours of good times. We have already unlocked by being above 50 subscribers. Placid Plastic Duck Simulator with chat. So I will probably tweet out the link for people to kind of join in before the stream goes live if they have the game. If you don't have the game, it's only a couple dollars, but obviously you don't have to get it. It's not required. That'll just be a fun thing that'll kind of be on in the background while we do other things, and we'll probably return to that later throughout. We'll come in and out of that game as the stream happens. And then we'll watch some 90s French wrestling with New Catch. I got a fun episode of that to show you, some nonsense there. So we'll watch wrestling from the early 90s. That feels like it's from the mid 80s. Lord Crashing, it totally does. Then we're going to build, I'm going to try to make myself in WWE 2K23. I have not built a character in one of these games in a very long time. I don't know how successful. I think we're just going to kind of try to do like the platonic ideal of Pat Baer in a wrestling game. I think we're going to probably lean towards like announcer Pat Baer, like ringside announcer, interviewer Pat Baer a little bit, like that kind of team. Like I think like that kind of vibe. I think that is the vibe we're going to go for rather than like pro wrestler Pat Baer. But we're going to have fun with it. And then I hit 86 subscribers. I drink 50% Mountain Dew, 50% milk. I'm going to have a nice tall glass of Mountain Dew and milk. It's called Dilk, and it sucks, and I'm going to drink it. That's tomorrow, starting at 4 p.m. Eastern. You're like, Pat, why are you doing a punishment? You don't like punishment like stuff. That's not a thing you're into. Well, I want results, and that does get results. I will say this. uh, diet caffeine free, or sorry, diet, it wasn't caffeine free. Diet Pepsi and milk was not the worst thing. It tasted like, the way I described it was, it's like the bottom of like the very end of a milkshake, but it's the whole thing where like all the ice cream is melted and you're just stuck with like kind of cold milk products and then also soda. It's like that. It's not the worst. It's not great. You know, and I don't know what making it Mountain Dew, a thing I don't particularly love anyway. I don't know what that's going to do, but like, it can't be terrible. It could be bad, but it can't be like, I'm not going to vomit. You know what I mean? I'm not going to like it. Also, we again always run the risk, right? The risk continues to exist. What if I love it? I don't know, but what if I do? What if I absolutely 100%? What if I'm like, well, Dilk is my favorite beverage? Like that's the worst possible outcome. Not that I don't have enjoy it, because whatever. I'm a big boy. I can handle it. I can handle disappointment. But I can handle like a bad drink. But if it's a good drink, it opens up so many possibilities that are awful. Anyway, we have to talk about anime. I can't promote my thing tomorrow anymore. Don't worry, I'll fucking promote it tomorrow. Dilk Fanatic Pat Baer. Yeah, I'm just really scared about it. So, I thought this was going to be the last episode of I Got a Cheat Ability in a Different World and Became Extraordinary Even in the Real World, because, like, I thought it was like, okay, well, now they have to track down this prince who is, tried to get his father and his sister assassinated. We got to take them down, and that'll be the end of it. No, this was episode 12 of 13. That's right. This show got 13 fucking episodes. I was surprised. So, yeah, very surprised about that, but here we are, episode 12. So, an odd situation here. Our boy Yuji has thwarted the assassination attempt, and Princess Lexi is like, hey, let me take you on a tour. What? Why? Why are they on a tour? I don't know. Going on a tour of the town. Well, basically, it's like they're like we're going to be able to find the prince, but while we'll just have you protect us. Luna, her assassin turned assistant, is going to help out as well. It'll be fine. Everything's going to be fine, and it turns out actually everything is fine. They go to the Adventurers Guild, and then Luna's like, hey, Yuji. Or Yuya, sorry. Yuji's a different character from a different isekai. He's like, Yuya, sign up with me. Let's become adventurers. They test his magical abilities. Of course, he's off the charts, and people were like kind of freaked out about it. And then they're like, all right, well, let's go on like our first quest. It's just an odd thing. It's like, I think my belief is it is, even though they don't know this, they don't know he's from another world, that this is an attempt to, another way to ground him to them, of like, well, you're an adventurer, which means you have to go on quests and you have to turn this quest in, and it'll kind of like keep him around. So he doesn't just disappear on them. Anyway, they find the prince's whereabouts, and the knights are like, hey, Yuji, why don't you come help us? Because we got to capture him alive, right? This fight looks bad, even by their own standards. My assumption is all the money's going to go into the big fight in the next episode, but this fight does not look good. They capture him alive. The girl who is part of the evil faction called Vile, that's literally what they're called, she shows up. She's the girl that talks like a robot that fought against the rabbit that trained Yuya. She shows up. She's like, yeah, we set this up. We convinced him to try a coup d'etat because we wanted there to be a war, and we wanted this to turn into a big thing. but you fucked this up, so now we gotta kill everybody. Um, she retreats because Yuya ends up deflecting her attack because that's what he does. It looks like Owen, the knight, might have been killed. We don't know. That is the cliffhanger. Was that knight killed? But we do know that in the other world, in our world, Kaori is trying to visit Yuya, but he's obviously dealing with some stuff. And is she going to travel to the other world looking for him and get involved? And are all of the love interests gonna meet? Not all of them, because the model probably won't show up, but will the three main major love interests all run into each other? The possibility exists. Things could get dramatic. Yeah, I thought this was going to be the last episode. I'm actually surprised there is 13 episodes in the show. This series is fucking fine. Again, the animation is often poor, which is a bummer, but it's not bad. And I like the main character. I like the manga. The animal friends are cute and fun, who don't really do much in this episode. That's not true. The prince, when they're apprehending him, it is implied that the prince trips over the pig, but we don't actually see that. We just hear like a squeal and then him be like, but we don't see it because the animation is so bad, which is a shame. All right, let's actually work on this kit. We're moving on here. We're now doing some Lego. I will update the on Monday stream. I'll update the information, but I'm not going to do that now because I want to get some of this done. I'm going to tell you about Oshi no Ko. This is episode 10 of 11. That's right, this show only has 11 episodes. A reminder that the first episode of this series was 90 minutes. So I'm not that surprised to find out that this is the second last episode. And I'm also not surprised to find out that this episode is extremely, extremely about the idol side of it and not the murder or the setup. So it is not that side of it. It is unfortunately the idol side, which I'm not as interested in. So we have the revamp, the reissue of the idol group, B Komachi. Ruby and Mem are like, or Mimcho are like, Kana, you're going to be the center. She's like, no. I don't want that pressure or responsibility. Spoilers, she does accept that. Because she kind of watches them go through it, and they're working so hard that she's like determined to help them out. So she's like, you know what? Fine. I will do this. I will jump in, and I will be the lead of this operation. Miyako brings in Peon back, who is like a famous guy, and going to give them some pointers and all that. And he's helping them training, and he's giving them motivation. He gives Kana some motivation and has a lot of insights into her, and seems to like really know what's going on and say the right things. Turns out, that's Aqua disguised because that guy wasn't available, so he stepped up to help motivate people for his own means. Kana hears a little bit about Ruby and why Ruby wants to be an idol. And then she finds out that Aqua is Peon, and she's like wondering what's going on there. She's like, well, was this, how true was the words that he said to me? That kind of thing. Making sure that I'm doing this all right here. Looks like I am. We're doing our little tree here that our parrot is going to sit on. Yeah, so we did that. We got a nice little base here that came together nice. And then we're just going to add a little bit of leafage here. Just a little bit of leafage. Just to make things look nice. We'll get some branches, I guess, and and one big leaf. So we'll do one big leaf here, and then put a branch there, and a branch there. Let's see. I think Aqua actually did a good idea. I didn't notice it at first. Then they get into their competition. Everyone's crammed together. There's some other underground idol groups and some like not as popular groups that are kind of on the way down, and everyone's kind of fighting over each other. And then we've got Kana kind of self-reflecting about why she responds the way she does and why she deflects, and her own kind of failures. She doesn't want to drag anybody down. And Ruby, her friendship with Ruby is kind of blossoming, which is great. And then they're going to take... Then the performance is going to happen. Their big moment here is coming. And that will, of course, be episode 11. So we didn't get much furthering with the let me figure out who murdered my mother, and also the me before I was reincarnated as my mother's child thing. We did not really get a look at that, which it sucks because that's the part I'm most interested in, because I don't watch a lot of idol stuff, and so this idol thing is not super interesting to me. I've said that before. I'll say it on Tuesday when I do my recaps of the seasons. That I'm just, not super into it. Sacrificial Princess and the King of Beasts. So I was like, oh, it's episode 10. This show started late, so I'm like, you know what? This is going to be episode 10 of 12. We're getting close. I looked at it. No wonder this show moves at such a glacial pace. It's a 2-core. What the fuck? Why would this show be a 2-core? Now, some of the animation isn't that great, but the art style is beautiful. The backgrounds are lovely. There's a lot to like about this show, but I'm so gobsmacked at the idea that it has a 24 episode season. Like it's like a 2-core. That's so wild to me. So this is episode 10 of 24. So we'll be talking about Sacrificial Princess and the King of Beasts for a while. I mean, unless I stop liking it, which I don't know, could happen, but I'm enjoying it so far. As long as I don't think too hard about it, which I will talk about in a minute. So, the Grand Consecration is happening, which is the anniversary of the King of Beasts founding, the kingdom, I should say. So our king, Leonhardt, is supposed to wear clothing that the first king wore, and it's this big ceremony. But the night before, our boy has another moment where he reverts to his human form because he's half human, and nobody knows except Seraphine knows that. So she has to try to hide him, and he thinks about how like no one in this castle other than her that like would ever let him live if they knew he was half human, which is like fucking rough. It's a rough thing to know about yourself and your situation. And then the next day, he's still a human, which has never happened before. He's still a human. He does not know what to do about that. So the only thing they can think of is to hide him even more. Everyone's looking for him. They can't find him. And then he starts slowly returning back to human form, but it's not fast enough. Oh, okay, so let's go like that, right? And eventually he does turn back to human, but there's not enough time for him to get into the clothes he needs to wear, so he just shows up in his regular clothes and says, like, you know, we're changing with the times. We're going to move forward. Some traditions are fine, but not every tradition, and it's a whole thing. And then Anubis, who has been testing that apparently the stuff he did before wasn't the real test. Now he's really testing Seraphy if she deserves to be the queen and stay by his side. And it's like, okay. So basically, he's like, you can be acting queen consort. You'll be exiled if you fuck up. Or you could be considered a pet, and you could stay by Leonhardt's side, but we would treat you like a pet, and then there'll be then we'll pick a real queen, a real wife. And she's like, I'm gonna be the acting queen consort. Like I'm gonna go for broke here. Which, this is a girl that up until recently has never had a choice in her life and never been able to make a decision. Now, is there some elements of this is a completely fucked situation for this girl to be in? Sure, 100%. This is not a great situation that she has found herself in, but she's making choices that she wants to be making, which is great. And once again, must stress, this guy Anubis, he does not have the right to do any of this. He should not be making demands. The only reason that he is alive right now is because she does not want him to die. At any point, she could just go, well, I can just tell the king that you should be killed. And then, boom, I win no matter what. But she's still willing to go through all of this. But she certainly does not have to. All right, we have just made a big flower. We are working on the Parrot version of this. And apparently working on the Parrot version of this means that we got to build a big old silly flower here. Maybe I built this wrong. No, yeah, that's right. All right, yeah. So now we got a big old flower that we have put on here. Oh, it's supposed to go like this. Okay, now I got it. There we go. Big old flower. Built. Assembled. So yeah, the Sacrificial Princess I feel like just moves so slowly. It is an interesting anime, but I think, like I said, there's some elements to it that are visually very impressive. But overall, I'm annoyed with it. Now's the part of the stream. I'm going to tell you, friends, what games I've been playing in the Steam Next Fest. And so what demos I've been checking out. If you've been playing any games in Steam Next Fest, you can let me know in the comments. I would like to see those. You can tell me if you've been playing anything. But I'll let you know what I've been playing. I only have a few games here. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 5. The first one I want to tell you about is Stop Dead, which is a first-person game of running and jumping and sliding in first person. And then you pick up stuff and throw stuff with your psychic powers. So it's like telekinesis, grab and throw stuff, run. The art style is fun. The animation, it looks really clean and nice. I had a good time playing Stop Dead. Little Nemo and the Nightmare Fiends is a great looking Metroidvania game that feels good to play. I don't love the name. The name, like, I was like, it's got something to do with Nemo. Like, I've had to look at it several times to remember that it's called Little Nemo and the Nightmare Fiends. It's not, I don't think that's a great name, but it is a definitely enjoyable Metroidvania game, style game that I've enjoyed playing. Arc Racer. I don't think I would buy Arc Racer, but I've enjoyed my time with Arc Racer. It is a throwback to F-Zero kind of games, like, maybe even Wave Racer, but I think it's closer to F-Zero. I'm not good at it. It looks great. It plays great. The sound, like, they really went out of their way to make, like, the music. Like, they picked some good tracks. I really enjoyed that. But again, I don't think I would pay for that game, but I enjoyed playing it because I'm just not good at that style of racing or any kind of racing game. But certainly that style, not my thing. All right, so now we got to get more of these out. Pizza Possum. Pizza Possum. That's on Steam Next Fest. You run around stealing pizza and finding stuff. And there's some stealth mechanics in it. You got to hide from the guard dogs. I believe there is co-op. Um, it is. I don't know. I found it charming. I don't think that it. I don't generally enjoy games with stealth mechanics. I bet that'll get old really quick. But for a demo, it was snappy and fun. I like the premise. I like the characters. I think that was a good time. I enjoyed that. Um, and again, friends, if you've played any of the games in Steam Next Fest, please let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you in chat, or just start putting in what you've been playing or watching or doing anything. If you're checking anything out, I got one more game to talk about, but I want to hear from you. If you're just like Pat, I don't have time for demos. I'm too busy playing Street Fighter and Diablo. And getting prepped for Final Fantasy. Like, I totally understand, but, I always do like to ask what people are playing, or if you're watching anything, you just let me know in the comments. Stunt Derby is the last demo that I checked out. Danny O'Dwyer is making a game, and I love that for him. I've had some fun with Stunt Derby. I think that is a very fun, like, drive around and bump into people, cause chaos. The demo, I think, plays very well. This feels like a game that I would put on my laptop and bring places if I still saw people regularly. But it does. This feels like Duck Game. Duck Game was a game that I kept on my laptop. Just in case I had people together and like I knew there were a few people who liked games there. Did I put this on wrong? I did. Put these all on wrong. That feels like a game that I would be like, hey, what? Oh yeah. We should hang out and check out this game. I think you'll like it. It's called Stunt Derby. It's silly and nonsensical, and I think that I would love to introduce people to that game. Shanks, I'll agree to that. I don't know why. Automod did not like what you said there, so I'll take a look at that. But yeah, Stunt Derby, really thought that was fun. And I would recommend. All right, let's see. What do you say? Aristophan says, I've been playing the What Works on Steam Deck so far. I'm 50-50, which is impressive. Stunt Derby and Viewfinder both work great. Not surprised that Stunt Derby works good on there. That's rad, though. All right, so now we got to attach this to this here. Great. Another flower. Assembled. I've downloaded a handful, but I haven't played any of them since Lashbrook. Okay, no problem. Lord Crasher says, I played Ebenezer and the Invisible World, which was surprisingly solid Metroid-style game set after the events of A Christmas Carol. What? Sure. You know what? Fine. Yes, that's a game that exists. Okay, sure. The Lakia Age Through Blood demo blew me away. Really hope more people play and talk about it. Okay, that sounds cool. Shanks, thanks for letting me know. And Lord Grant says, Goodbye Volcano High is very fun in the way it handles teen culture around the potential end of the world. Yeah, I don't want to touch the demo. I just want to play Goodbye Volcano High. I know the demo's out there. I've had the game wish listed. I think it's rad. But I think I'm good at the moment. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, it is a thing that, seems very cool, but I'm going to just, back off a little bit, let that game come out, and then be blown away when it does. I think that's kind of my vibe. Lakia H Through the Blood is a Western-inspired Motorvania. Okay. That sounds cool. Yeah, I hadn't heard of that. I mean, there's so many games, right? There's so many out there that Spirit Swap, I already know I bought that game because I invested in the Kickstarter, so I already know I'm going to be playing that game. There's some stuff I haven't checked out. But I think we're going to wrap up the stream there because we're still working on the flower part of this. But I'll take a photo here while the lighting is still Excellent. And then, we'll move on to raiding, because that is how we end every stream here, is with a raid. We'll find somebody doing some cool shit out there and go hang out with them on a Thursday evening. Reminder, real quick, as I said, we are going to raid. That is how we end every stream. But before we raid, just want to say my birthday stream is tomorrow from 4 p.m. till 8 p.m. Eastern. You're invited to my birthday party. It's a stream. It's a subathon. They're different, like we're going to break some different things down. It's not just what's listed on there. There will be other things probably. There'll be other stuff that we'll do. I do have a video set up. You know what? I'll tell you what it is. I do have a video that is for while I'm going to go grab something to eat and while I'm eating my dinner. The video will play. It is the Atari Jaguar demo tape. This is recorded. This is a VHS tape from 11/14/1994. So I have an Atari Jaguar demo tape that we will be watching on stream while I eat my dinner. While I get my dinner and while we eat my dinner. As John says, we always enter the raids. We're going to enter right there. So I'll tell you. I haven't told anybody else, but I want to tell you all. That's what I'm doing tomorrow. There'll be a VOD. There'll be an archive of it. So you can check that out. And oops, I hit a wrong button there. But we are going to end with a raid. I'm going to go find somebody doing cool shit there, and we'll go hang out with them on stream. But again, tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern to 8 p.m. Eastern. Please check it out. Who's doing stuff? Let's see. How long have they been streaming? Let's see. No, they've been going way too long. They're probably almost done. We're not going to raid them. If someone has been going for more than 4 hours, we don't raid. Obviously, some streamers stream for a really long time. That does not apply to like Rah Vectroid, but other people sometimes they only do it for a little bit. Some people don't go buck wild with it. So, all right, no. We have not rated Matt Wiggins in a while. Matt Wiggins is playing. Let's see. Oh, Final Fantasy 16. So yeah, let's just go hang out with Matt. Matt's only been streaming for an hour. Matt's doing some Final Fantasying, so we'll go hang out with Matt for that. Feel free to come along this raid. If you don't want to, that's okay. I hope to see you tomorrow. Again, no stream on Saturday. My next stream for model kit building will be Monday, but tomorrow is my birthday stream. But again, if you want your model kit building and you want to hear, or Lego building, that's on Monday. Thanks so much for being here. I'll see you in the future. Good night, everybody. Have a good one. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.